there's not 100,000 seats, it's 100,000 tables people are trying to book, so it's just incredible. So, as he said, 20 years he could have filled the restaurant in one day. So it's an amazing rise in bookings. I knew about the results, excuse me, just before they were announced.
Too much partying. It's the after of the after party, right?
He's been to the party,
Won't have come to
the after party, and the after party after that.
Yes, and I didn't come direct from there to here, but it was
close.
Raving reporter.
But I knew these results in advance yesterday, and I was tempted just to phone the restaurant and try and get a booking because I know I'm never going to be able to go otherwise. But just people go crazy.
Tell me about this. Tell me about the number one.
Well, it's been number 2 for the past 2 years, so it wasn't a huge surprise it went up to the number 1 spot. It's 3 brothers in the north of Spain, just outside Barcelona, in a kind of not very affluent area even, and their parents owned a bar restaurant there, and the brothers started a restaurant next door. One's the head chef, one does the front of house and the wine, the other's the pastry chef, and they specialise in Iberian cuisine.
And so what is it, kind of like old school? I mean, you see the 3 brothers kind of like, you know, hugging there. Is it, have you eaten there?
I haven't eaten there. Can't get a table. But it's not old school, it's very modern. One of the brothers spent a year at El Bulli and so on. It's very much in that kind of mould of modern Spanish gastronomy, and particularly Catalan.
So what was the biggest surprise? We actually had on a chef yesterday, Massimo Bottura. He was number 5. He became number 3 last night.
He's brilliant, and I was with him last night. Actually, I was dancing with him, to be honest.
Yeah, I bet he was on the dancing floor.
He looks like he does look like he enjoys the party, I have to say.
He was happy. And dinner by Heston Blumenthal came in at number 7, I think, which was rather a surprise. It was that high, and Heston was out with his mother last night celebrating.
Was she dancing?
She wasn't, but he was pretty close to it as well. It was quite a lively atmosphere there.
The interesting thing that struck me about all of this is you sat down and mentioned the name Gordon Ramsay. Very sort of old school.
I did. I just had Gordon Ramsay's refurbished his main London restaurant, a flagship, and I thought give it another go. And I went back, and it looks kind of okay. It looks good, but the food is fantastic. He's got a chef there, Claire Smith, a woman, and it's her dishes on the menu rather than Gordon's. So Gordon, you know, created all these amazing dishes, I don't know, 10 years ago, and hasn't been very active in the restaurant in recent years, and he's now, you know, allowed his woman's head chef just to do her dishes, and they're fantastic. Very light, very hard to get a table as well. Word's getting out.
Richard, yeah, hard to get a table. Book now, guy.
Yeah.
Richard, in terms of the world 50 best restaurants, how do they compare with Michelin stars? Because a lot of these guys actually don't have 3 Michelin stars, but so are they competing? What is most looked at?
Well, it's different things, particularly the French restaurants look to the Michelin Guide, obviously. Of the top 50 chefs last night, top 50 restaurants, 48 showed up. The 2 who didn't were Alain Passard and Joel Robuchon, both French chefs, and Alan Ducasse didn't show up for his Lifetime Achievement Award. So these, there is a kind of rivalry between Michelin Guide and this, but they're slightly different things, I think.